Hello, everyone. Welcome to my very thoughtful world. Thank you so much for watching or listening in. Tonight, I want to invite you to my masterclass from Stuck to Unstoppable. It's happening March 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't want you to miss it because I understand that a lot of times we get stuck in the way we're thinking, stuck in the way we're moving, stuck in our finances, stuck in our business simply because of the way we're thinking. And I want to offer you strategies that's going to help you get out of that mindset that's keeping you stuck. So let's talk about what I'm here for today. Today, I want to share with you the concept of self concept. Recently, I don't know if you guys know Jamie Lima. She's recently released a book called Worthy. Let me tell you, that book is amazing. And I haven't even finished it yet. Like, I've probably listened to more interviews about the book and read more quotes about the book than I've actually put in time in the book. But it has changed my life so much already, but it also reinforce things that I know to be true, particularly in the group of women that I serve. So I serve professional women, mostly female entrepreneurs, who really get in their own way with either getting their business started or taking their business to a next level, not because she's not smart, brilliant, amazing, or excellent at what she does, but simply because I call them mind monsters. Her mind monster is keeping her playing small, making her believe that she's not good enough, confident enough, bold enough, that she's not worthy, simply worthy enough to do what she's been called to do. So if that is you, I want you to pay attention, get your notebook and pad, and take notes on this episode because I'm hoping to leave you with some nuggets that will really help you show up full on playing yourself, like playing into the woman that God created you to be. So let me talk about a little bit about how this could be showing up in your life and in the sense of stopping you from moving forward. Now you may recognize this is where you are. This is certainly where I was years ago before I started my business, before we started traveling the world. I thought that what I was hearing in my mind was true. My life was limited because of my self concept. And I believe because I was from a small town in America that Kalahasky, North Carolina. My story and my small way of thinking was I'm just a little black girl from Ahoskie, North Carolina. Who am I to show up great? Who am I to stand on stages and speak? Who am I that anyone would listen to me? So I had these dreams, I had these desires to do really big and great audacious things. I certainly wanted to see the world, but my mind monsters had me convinced that my thoughts and beliefs was true, but it also caused me to limit myself. Even while I lived at home, I would have these great ideas of wanting to host a fashion show, wanting to help young women, wanting to host these events to raise money, but I would not show up because I was so afraid of rejection. I was so sure that people would look at me and either laugh or think I'm a joke or think like, why would I help you do this? Or who are you to pull off this event? So I would have the great idea. I would think about it. I could even think about how I could charge, how I could make money. And then before I could even sit down to come up with a plan, my mind would say, why would you do that? Who's going to come? You don't even know where to start. Like it would start with all of these negative thoughts and that would hold me hostage from moving. Now, what shift in me was when certainly I heard one of my favorites say, Oprah Winfrey, that we do not have in life what we want, we have in life what we believe. And that put me on a path where I start really thinking about what is it that I believe. And interestingly enough, in this book, Worthy by Jamie, she talks about how that statement changed her life. And now she's a billionaire. Now I'm far from that, but one day I believe I can get there because I certainly believe I'm worthy of it. Where there was a time before when there was no way, like there was no way I would even think that people would pay me to help them grow their business, change their life, improve their marriages. Like, why would someone pay me? And I certainly didn't think people would pay me well to do this. But what I'm telling you is nothing really changed but the way I was thinking. And I want you to realize that once you learn to change the way you're thinking, everything changes. So I'm going to say it again. Once you learn to change the way you're thinking, everything changes. So here's a quote that is in Jamie's book that really stood out to me. She says, in life, you do not soar to the level of your hopes and dreams, you stay stuck at the level of your self-worth. Oof. Like that's hard. Think about it. You don't soar. You don't show up at the level of your hopes and dreams. So I want you to take some time and write out, what are your hopes? What are your dreams? What is it that you really want to see in life? What is the big audacious thing that you really want to do or accomplish? What were the things that you like when no one is listening, when no one is around, that you wish, the experiences that you wish you could have? And is the only reason you're not having those experiences or even working to accomplish those things is because of your self-worth? Is there a part of you that just simply believe that, who are you to do that? That I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. And I want to be honest with you. I want you to know that even Jamie admitted, Oprah says she doesn't have this problem, but hey, she's Oprah. But even Jamie admitted, even listening to Will Smith's book, I think it was called Will Smith. I audio his book, and who else? I was watching the Netflix special with the We Are the World. And for some of you guys might be too young for that, but go check out the Netflix special on how they produced the song We Are the World. And so in this room was major musicians, Diana Ross, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, Huey Lewis in the News, like these major people, artists that was touring the countries, getting paid thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do what they love. But when they was in that room with other people at that caliber, each and every one of them shared at different times how there was a piece of them that felt unworthy. Who am I to be here? What happens if I sing and my voice cracks? Why am I sharing that? Because I want you to understand that at some point we all have moments of self-doubt. We all have moments of feeling rejected. We all maybe think that we're not good enough. But what is the difference between the people who move forward and the people who stay stuck? And I want to share with you, Jamie calls it the 4 R's. In my program, I call it the awakening. So because the concepts are the same, guys. But when you learn to wake up to the fullness of really who you are, when you wake up out of the limited thoughts and beliefs that you have, all the dreams, all the visions, all the aspirations, all the things that you deeply want to do, they're right there waiting for you. Like the Bible tells us that God has gone beforehand and created a path for us. So when I started doing this work, I realized, and honestly, I feel like God showed me, he was like, Kenesha, all the dreams you have are on the path. And the only reason you haven't accomplished or achieved one of those dreams is you just haven't gotten to the mile marker yet. So I liken it to when you're driving down the highway and there's a mile marker that says like mile marker 187, and maybe I'm at mile marker 72. Well, 187 feels like an extremely long ways away on my journey if I am just like, can't wait to get there. I'm anticipating. But what if my mind was like, when you get there, it's not going to be there. Somebody's going to take 187 away. um, there is no way you're worthy of going up the highway to 187. That is how your dreams are. They're just sitting further ahead than where you are right now. Doesn't mean you're not worthy of them. Doesn't mean you can't have them. Doesn't mean that like God doesn't want you to have it or it's going to get snatched away. It just means you haven't gotten there. And just like on any journey, when you're driving somewhere and we're at, mile marker 72 and 73, there are things off the exit that can get us distracted. There are places we can pull over and maybe spend the night. But if we stay too long, the destiny hasn't changed. 187 is still there waiting. But maybe I'm not getting there because I'm not focused and I'm not on the journey anymore. I've decided to come over here and park the car, and I saw something pretty over here. Or maybe I unpacked my luggage and said, you know what, I'm going to start a new life here. Forget that dream. I'm not going to keep going up that highway. It's too far. What I have right here is more than enough. And that's what's happening to many of us. We get where we are. We know it's not satisfying, but we figure it's enough. I'm okay. Who am I to want more? Who am I to strive to go after the extra when the dream is sitting right there? It's just waiting for you. So I want to help you get out of what I call the mind monsters so that you can get further up that highway and get to your dreams and begin to live the life that excites you and earn the income that you want, particularly if you're a female entrepreneur. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you, like, honestly, I want you to show up, because whether your product or service is for me, it's for somebody, and there are some people waiting for you. So I need you to show up, because one of us, or some of us, or thousands of us need you to show up, because we need that product, that special way you do something. We need your service, your voice, your techniques, your strategies. It doesn't matter if you look in the market and you go, well, there are other people doing it, so why should I do it? You know why you should do it? Because God has given you a unique assignment, and in that unique assignment are unique people that are assigned to you. And so there's some of us waiting for you, because even though you think you do the same thing that maybe I do, or some other, female entrepreneur does, we don't do it the way you do it. And that's why we need you to show up. So the first thing I want you to do, in Jamie's book, and I encourage you to get the book, she calls it, the first thing you have to do is to reveal. Now, in my coaching program, the first thing we begin to do after we set the vision, but in order to get over the mind monsters, is that we identify. So in revealing, she's identifying the message of her limited belief. So she had the belief of rejection and failure, right? In my program, we call those soul wounds, because here's the wonderful thing about the mind. The mind needs you to tell it what things are. Like, and this is a way I want you to know what I'm saying is true. Imagine when you're home by yourself and it's like at night and you hear a noise and you don't know what it is. You begin to panic. Your heart gets racing. Your mind is all over the place. You're like, oh my God, what is that? But the moment you find out it's the ice maker, some ice dropped, or it's a pet in the house moving around, you get to relax. That's the same thing with our mind. It just needs you to identify, what is that thing that I don't know what it is. So we start by identifying the soul wound. The soul wound being, and this is just a few, not all. Rejection is a soul wound. Fear of failure, soul wound. Believing that you're going to be abandoned, those are soul wounds. But once you identify the wound, we open up to talk about what is the messaging of the wound. And here's why we have to do that. Because if you have a soul wound of rejection, particularly if you're a female entrepreneur, you're not going to make the phone calls, the cold calls. You're not going to go knock on the doors. You're not going to tell people, hey, I got this amazing product that will help your business, your schools, whatever that is. Like today I went out to a school. I have a soul wound of rejection, guys. So today I was invited to read my book as an author to a school. My first thought was absolutely not, I'm not doing that. Like, why would I go? Because my mind monsters tell me those kids aren't going to enjoy this. I'm going to be uncomfortable. But because I know this work, I go into second mode. What is true? So in my program, we begin to question the message of the wound. The message is they don't want you there. Nobody's going to like you. That's what my soul wound of rejection tells me. So I I then go, what is true? What is true is that I've written an amazing book where I've gone to schools before in the past, that the kids love it. The administrators can't wait, and then they order a lot of books from me. That's what's true. So I do what I call priming, and all of this stuff is what I teach my clients in the program. I begin to teach them how to prime. One is called tapping. We do gratitude affirmations, because again, tell the mind what it is. We identify, we begin to reframe by what is true. And then there might be an exercise you need to do to move out of the feeling, or the emotion of the soul wound, into your power. Now, recently I've learned that a feeling, I wrote this down because I didn't want to get it wrong, an emotion only lasts for 90 seconds. I want you to hear that. I want you to get that. So the emotion that come up, fear, rejection, anxiety, the emotion only lasts for 90 seconds. And I'm not talking about like clinical things, guys. I'm talking about our day-to-day emotions. But what makes it seem like it lasts all day, or all year, or all our life is not the feeling, It's the thoughts we begin to have about that feeling. It's the story we have attached to that feeling. So when we ask what is true, we're giving ourselves a new story. And so what is true is I have a phenomenal coaching program that has helped hundreds of women around the world. What is true is I have an amazing book that children get excited about when they hear it read to them, and books in schools and parents love to buy my book. So I have to ask myself what is true in light of what I'm thinking and believing. And then once I know what is true, I begin to affirm. I affirm myself. Um, in the book, Jamie calls it revisiting. She revisits her past to see what happened. And then she reframes it in like, had I dated that particular guy, he wasn't attached to my destiny. But for me, once I get through the identify what is true, I begin to affirm. That's when the tapping comes along. I am worthy. I am amazing. I begin to say to myself all the things that God has said about me. And then I promise you, when your mind hears something new, it will believe it. And when you can tap into your nervous system, now you're shifting and now you're showing up in your excellence. You're showing up great. You're showing up in the you God created you to be, and not the you that's been shaped by your hurts, your pains, your disappointments, your fear that keeps you from moving forward in your business, in your life, in your love, and in your relationships. So I want you to, one, if you're really struggling with this, I want you to book a free discovery call with me. Why keep suffering? Go to my website, verythoughtfullife.com. There's nothing keeping you from the life you want, but your thinking. And here's the thing. This is why it's all about your self-concept. Your unworthiness will convince you that why would I call Kenesha? Because I've done things in the past and I don't even show up for myself in the past. So why would this one be any different? You know what's different? I'm the different ingredient. My clients can't skate by. They don't get away from me. I'm not going to let you sell yourself out again, because I understand that it's not you, it's your mind monsters. I understand that you mean well, that you want to show up, that you are an amazing person, but you have thoughts that are stopping you. So I don't let you enter into my program and not show up for yourself. I'm going to hound you. We're going to do this together because the world is waiting. So go right now. You are worthy of the phone call. You are worthy of the program. You are worthy of the business. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of the relationship. You are worthy of all the dreams and visions that you have. And all it takes is a shift in your mind. So I want to say to you, thank you so much for watching. I want you to remember a few things. One, I want you to remember that your thoughts are creating your decisions, and it is your decisions that's creating your destiny. And so if you want a different destiny, all you need are new thoughts. Thank you again for watching. Do me a favor, will you share, like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel? Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and then let someone else know. You can check me out on Apple and Spotify if you want to check me out in the car as you're riding around, or if you're a podcaster and you just love to listen and you don't have time to watch. Thank you again for watching. Have an amazing day.